Ohio. How are you all doing? Get it? Did you get it?
Oh, I got it.
Ohio.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ohio. You guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this episode of Vintage Rescue Squad. Look, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that is in the chat. Normally, we do like to highlight all of our first. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do the first. We can only do the first three because we only have people on for so long. And I really want to give everybody an opportunity to speak, to be on camera. But of course, you guys, as always, we have the distinct pleasure of being up here and being able to do this because of every way that all of you support each of the channels. I do want to remind you before we get into it, everybody, and I do mean everybody's links, is down below in the description of the video. So if you accidentally, of course, are not subscribed to anybody, whether that's on YouTube, on Instagram, on whatnot, all of those links are provided down below for you. You just have to hit that little blue line. It will redirect you. Hit subscribe, hit follow. Don't forget to engage in the content. Again, it's a completely free way of showing a lot of support to some really hardworking and deserving folks. Okay. So first comment we're seeing tonight is Mick. Hey lady, how are ya? We've got Shannon in the chat. Good evening. And Perla. Perla, ladies, you are the first three comments that I am seeing. You guys, I am sorry. Hello to everyone again in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't worry. Don't worry. We've got a jam-packed episode of Vintage Rescue Squad. You guys, the way that we're going to run tonight is that just about everybody is going to be with us that was with us in Ohio. We are going to go in 30-minute increments. We are going to share the screen just like you see here, and it'll give everybody just a time to reflect, share some memories, our experiences. It's just a little recap this week. I thought it would be a great way to keep us all in community and share with you guys the adventures that we had. So without further ado, Jason, Tina, you want to introduce yourself? And Cyndi, do you want to follow them up?
All right, I'm Jason.
I'm Tina.
We're from Mother Tucker's Antiques. Hopefully, you guys are following us on YouTube, also following us on Instagram and over on Whatnot. We own a brick and mortar in Lancaster, or more so Ephrata, Pennsylvania. That's pretty much the skinny. We hung out in Springfield, had a good time, and
Had a great time.
had a great time.
Had a great time.
Hey, I'm Cyndi with Amy's Treasure Cottage, and you guys can follow me here on YouTube and also on Instagram. I'm also an artist. I have an art studio in Hudson, Ohio that also does double duty as a pop-up vintage shop. So if you're anywhere in the area, you'll have to check that out. There's a link to sign up for my studio newsletter on my channel, and you'll find out when my pop-up hours are and stuff if you do that.
There you go. Again, you guys, all of the links are down below. Please make sure to get down there and throw some support to everybody, of course, that you're seeing this evening. So let's dive right into it. You guys, if you don't know, let us tell you. Just 2 weekends ago, it seems so long ago, we all gathered together in Springfield. I almost said Pennsylvania, Springfield, Ohio. For the Springfield Antique Extravaganza. It was huge. Jason and Tina, this was your first time. Cyndi, was this your first time?
No, this was my second time. I went in 2020 with everybody.
Okay.
Well, not with everybody, but I was there.
Awesome. Jason, Tina, what did you guys think? Like, first impressions, be honest, hit us with it.
It was large. Everybody had warned us how large it was. It did go on. If you're looking for something, you're probably going to find it there. You're going to find something comparable. There are bargains to be had. You do have to look for them.
Right.
Don't have the idea that you're going to get everything at a steal, because they are also antique dealers. So it is going to be retail. No shame in that. No shade on that. It's just a reality. So I would say to anybody that's going there, make sure you carry a buggy or a wagon, have something like that with you. Make sure you have plenty of fluid, plenty of cash, plenty of suntan, and make sure you're ready to be there multiple days, because comfortable shoes. And again, just be prepared to be overwhelmed the first time, and then be prepared to go back a second time with probably a game plan, I would say.
Yeah.
Bring more than one pair of shoes. Ask
Yeah.
them about that if you ever see her.
we go to a lot of thrift or like flea markets and outdoor markets locally in Pennsylvania, and I was unprepared for how large it was. Like I really I was not expecting that much.
Like everybody had since
but in a good way.
Well, yes, and since we've always been, in our brick and mortar, folks have come in and said how great Springfield is. Some people have said how great Brimfield is, how great the Endless Yard Sale or the 127 sale is. We've never got to actually enjoy these things. So it's nice for us to get out and try and enjoy these things and see these things. But it is large. Hey, Sandy, it is very large, the Springfield. And be prepared to go back multiple days. Again, please don't go with the mindset that you're going to get bargains by the bag full, because those folks are antique dealers. I'm assuming they have booths in other places, and this is the way they do their shows. Maybe instead of being in a brick and mortar, they travel around to these shows.
Well, one thing I think that you need to also be prepared for is and the dealers, they know that you're going to haggle over a price. Yes. And so just if you offer the dealer a fair price for something, or better yet, ask what's the best that they can do. I think that there is leaving that room for negotiation. It is definitely, and I mean, when Arianna comes on, she found some amazing things kind of along the outskirts. So just kind of have a game plan, but just know that those game plans can get sideways, because you do get very overwhelmed and you think, I'm going to start here, but then you get there and you're like, no, you kind of have to just go where you feel led.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the problem is if you come in and you think like, I try to pace myself sometimes, but the problem with that is that you're never going to remember where you saw it at, and two, the person 10 people behind you is going to buy it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be there when you come back. So you have to make those split-second decisions as to whether or not you're going to buy it or not. Right. And pretty much, I'd say 90% of everybody that I asked for a deal on, a discount of some sort, gave it to me. Mm-hmm. And when they don't, it's your prerogative to take it or not take it. So you never have to feel like you have to pay more than you really want to pay for anything.
Well, and a lot of times there won't be prices on things. A lot of vendors didn't even have prices on their items. And so you kind of have to be prepared to make an offer. Right. Or ask, or at least ask what they want for it.
And also, the show is run very professionally. Getting in and off of the fairgrounds, very easy. They direct you where to go. They have the dealers lined up. The dealers seem to know protocol and have it organized so you're not tripping over things. It's a very, very professional environment. It's almost like an outdoor. It is a true antique mall that's outdoors.
What was the deal? Do you guys remember? And I think this is also something important to remember. But Friday morning, you had to be there by noon, and you could pay. It was $10 or $15 for all 3 days.
Yes, they call it the early bird, and you could actually go and shop the line on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Which is you pay. I can't remember how much it was.
I thought it was
$50. Yeah, but you go and I've done that before at flea markets, and it's very weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable because the dealers are setting up their booths, and you're coming in and you're trying to buy as they're setting it up. So I don't know. I don't like that dynamic, but I know that a lot of people do like to go, and they will, I don't want to say they'll gobble up all of the good stuff in the beginning, because it's not like that. Because honestly, a lot of these dealers, if they're seasoned, they know that they will bring things for the entire weekend. They'll put stuff in their car to replenish for the next day. So they're still freshening up their booths. And honestly, sometimes they're buying things from other people, and then they'll put it in their booths too.
And I don't feel like people would give you great deals Thursday.
Right.
Like as dealers, if I'm setting up and the show hasn't opened, I'm not going to be very willing to negotiate with you. I'm going to want what I want. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. It's like when you go to a yard sale on the very first day.
Yes.
It's hard to haggle then because
Right.
people are like, well, I want to see what it does all weekend.
Right. Or at least give me like 2 hours.
Right.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Sweet Pea's got a good point, and I mean that does happen. You know, they get the read on you, and they're like, this
Well, you know
person will
what
pay
I
this
think
much,
about
this person will pay that.
When I read her comment, I thought, but that can work in your favor too, because I've done that myself where I have something and it's not selling and it's not selling and it's not selling at the price I'm throwing out. Well, somebody else is going to come after the 10th time I've told that price to somebody and they might get a lesser price. You know, so sometimes it can work in your favor, not against you as opposed, you know, somebody thinking, oh, well, they're dressed nicer or whatever. Yeah.
I will say on the first day, there are 2 things that I picked up. I didn't even ask if I could get a deal, but just picked it up and they were priced and they were like, oh, I'll do, something would be 68 and they're like, I'll do 50. One was 70 and I got it for 50 and it was just like, okay, like didn't even have to say anything,
And
so
sometimes I think your presence makes a difference too. I think sometimes people can then pick up on your energy and they just feel like making you a deal. So I don't know. It's a weird wackadoo thing, but I think sometimes you can omit an energy and then the dealer wants to, I don't know. I know it's a wackadoo thing, but I think that there is something to it.
But sometimes, Misty, it's like we've gone to in-person auctions and I can remember like sometimes I'd be so timid to bid and Jason would be like, just buy something. Like, I don't care. Take $20, just buy something.
You have to crack the seal. You have to break
like
the seal. You have to get it
get the ball rolling. Yeah.
So Thrifter Not Hoarder Thrifter Not Hoarder said, do they do better deals on the last day? Well, historically they have, and I did get some good deals the last day, but I went on Sunday specifically to look for deals, half price items, and stuff in the garbage. I never made it to the garbage. I was so whipped. But
I didn't even make it to
how many dealers on the last day didn't budge off their prices. Yeah. Like I asked a few of them, will you take this for that? Oh no, I can only take, and that was on the last day. So I was really surprised by that. I didn't get as much. Well, there wasn't as much movement as I hoped for.
You might have did you guys, because I was just wiped out. I didn't even make it to Sunday. We didn't even make it to Sunday. Now you guys, Michael and Jason and Tina, you guys ended up going back. I should.
And we saw Cyndi there too the last day.
But did you guys?
End, we were all.
Yeah.
We were all made it to the bitter end.
Did you guys notice a lot of vendors gone?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so
earlier than expected.
There's another flea market in where is it at? In Kentucky. That same weekend. It's on a Sunday. So a lot of them went down to that that flea market. It's a big antiques market. Gosh, what is the name of it? Someone will know. Maybe not, but I can't remember the name of it. But there's one in Kentucky. Maybe Laura knows. Laura, what was the name of that flea market in Kentucky that same weekend as the Extravaganza? Burlington. Thank you, Kim. Burlington. Yes, Amie there. Burlington. So a lot of them will pack up and go to that one.
Right.
I mean, I think too, like around here, most of these people do this. Like this isn't the only weekend they set up.
Right.
Well, look at George. George is the prime example of,
Right. I mean, Jason and I have actually went to, like, we go to flea markets locally. And then when we go to the beach, we go. And this year when we went to the beach, he was like, oh, that guy was, I saw that guy Wednesday morning. I saw that, like, he recognized what people had in their cars. So yeah, I mean, these people travel and know what they're doing. So I think it just depends on if they have stuff they really want to get rid of.
Like what Powder Donut said, usually that's the heavier, bulky items that you can get a better deal on. The smaller items, the smalls, they can easily wrap those things back up and take them. But last year I got like a ceramic Christmas tree, a really big one for like $20. They didn't want to. They didn't want to take it. They didn't want to wrap it up. So, and that was like at the very like we were walking out. They were packing up their booth, and I was looking at it, and it didn't have a price. And she was like, $20. I don't want to pack it up. And I was like, okay.
I was really hoping
She's
that
like,
I would
will.
I was really hoping that I would find a bookshelf. I was looking for a bookshelf for my antique bedroom that I have in my house. And I was looking for like a bookshelf or some sort of a thing for the studio. And so that's part of the reason why I went on Sunday. I was hoping to find one of these big things that they wanted to offload for nothing. I did not luck out.
No luck. Oh, Cyndi, I got some bookshelves. You need to come to my shop. I got some.
Misty.
Did you guys have a problem with that? Any like pushy sellers or any?
Pushy seller was your bin guy that I ever heard.
No,
I seem to have that track record with Ohio, so I'm looking forward to next.
Wait, did we experience one this year? I don't remember there being one.
He wasn't pushy. He was just rude.
He was just kind of rude. Yeah.
Who, the puppet guy?
No, the puppet guy.
Well, he wasn't pushy. He just kind of said something. We were like,
oh,
no,
no. Let's not talk.
we're not going there. But
We don't need to talk about
who was this
Amy
guy?
just talked
Yeah,
about
there
it.
was.
Yeah.
There was a guy that.
There was a clear Rubbermaid container, and it had toys in it. And on the top of the toys, I saw a little Miss No Name. So I was like, "Ooh, that's a good toy." So I went over, picked her up, and set her to the side. And then I'm looking through the other stuff because I saw like vintage Barbies. There was something else I saw. I don't know what.
There was some trash in there.
There was, yeah. And before I said anything, I hear this guy goes, "Root, but don't root too hard." And he takes the doll and he's like, "That's a $400 doll. That doll sells for $400 on eBay." And I was like, "Okay." And then something, and I was like, "Sorry, wouldn't have known since you're sticking everything in a bin." And he's like, "Well, it's not a bin. These are expensive toys. This monkey here is $400." And I'm like, "Dude, whatever. It's in a plastic bin."
We were together the whole time, and I don't remember.
No, you know where it was? Because when Amie sent me the text for the mermaid, I ran off to go get the mermaid. So I was ahead, and as I was coming back, I saw it.
Oh, it was in your video today?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been gone all day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I agree. Like if you have something in a bin and you're literally like, and then he's like going through it and he's like, "Well, this is trash. This is trash." And I'm like,
that just killed me. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're putting your $400 item with a piece of trash.
yeah. Yeah. So
Sweet Pea's Attic is right though. Here in Pennsylvania, if you want the good stuff at the flea market, you need to be there with a flashlight. Like literally when I head out if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you guys see my trunk shots that I'll do on a Wednesday morning, I'm literally leaving I'm up at 4:30 and I'm out the door at 5 a.m. And you have to be there with a flashlight. You need to be there as the sun is coming up. This idea that you're going to cruise in there even at 7 or 8 and find something, you might. But if you want the good, you need to be the night crawlers here in Pennsylvania. That is good here, but it's also bad here because getting up that early can be a lot.
That's why Tina's never in the Instagram post.
and also
I like getting there early.
To comment on what Amie said, there was a fella that I was looking at something and literally he came out of nowhere and was on me and was like on my back, like, and he was like that used car salesman, like, what can I put you in, blah, blah. And I am used to it, especially with the line of work we're all in and owning the brick and mortar and selling myself. I just was like, well, I'm kind of interested in said thing. Like, what are your prices? How negotiable are you? But he did come in out of nowhere and did shock the hell out of me. He snuck up behind me. So yeah.
Like, excuse me, do I?
Yeah, like he was in my personal space,
Amie,
like right behind me, almost yelling in my ear, like, "What can I put? Like, what do you look like? Can I help you?" What?
You can hear him in Amy's video, and Amie and I were probably like 20 feet away from them, like no joke. Yeah. And I was like I had a moment of like, did Jason run into someone we know? Like I was so confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, Jason was wheeling and dealing.
Wheeling and dealing.
You got to.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
See, that's not cool. Then display them properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
Right.
feel his breath on your
Right.
neck.
Right.
Well, that's just like when you go to
Maybe
a
he was
yard
trying to
sale.
sell you some other goods there, Jason.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was.
Oh,
I was
Lord.
looking pretty good that day, I will say.
I
Maybe he
mean,
was.
hey.
I like NW Sunset 6 feet.
Well, the thing of it is, if it sells for that on eBay, then sell it on eBay.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I
Why
know.
are you bringing it? You know what I mean?
Right.
I had
Well, do you
somebody
guys?
tell me something, no joke though, and I think it was at Springfield last weekend. She sold it to me for $20, but she said, "Oh, that sells for $200 on eBay." And I'm thinking, well, then why are you selling it to me for $20?
Right.
It doesn't sell for that. But it's so funny
Right.
how they just throw this stuff out there, and I'm like, it doesn't sell for
Well,
200, and you're
some-
selling it to me for 20. That doesn't. compute
Sometimes people will use Google image search like it's golden, and Google image search does not bring up the sold listing. Is it only brings up what things are actively listed for. So you
And the
can't
buy
go
it
up.
nows too.
And the buy
At
it
that.
now. So you can use Google image search to help you identify something, but not necessarily to help you figure out how much something is worth.
Right.
Worth points is the best way to do that.
Right.
Or eBay solds.
Right.
But that can only take you so far.
But even throughout, I mean, whether it was there, whether it's antique malls, yard sales, other flea markets, I'm starting to really hear it more and more and more. Is that, well, it sells for this online, it sells for this online. And I have no problem because we sell online, but I guess that's kind of like the thing is it's just like, I don't have, I get it because you're trying to cut out the middleman and you want to make the most for, but then I don't know. I feel, and please let me know in the comments. You guys let me know and I can stand corrected, but it's kind of like if you literally have stuff thrown on a table or in a bin, is that like, are you putting forth the effort to garner that kind of,
Right.
of a profit, and I hate to say it. I mean, to each their own. I don't want to like come across like you're wrong and I'm right, but it's kind of like.
But Michael, it's no different than the conversations I think we've had about antique stores where the booth is jam packed and there's stuff everywhere and you can't get in it and you're digging. Yeah. And I dig on the bottom shelf in the back and you have something that's like $200. It's like, I'm not paying you full price when I just took 10 minutes to dig it out. Do you know what I'm saying? And part of that's perception. We're trained. You dig on the clearance rack in the department store, right? You don't dig on the full price. Like when you walk into a department store, the full price stuff is very pretty and it's out. And you have to go in the back of the store and dig on this overstuffed rack to find the deals, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
And Sarah, you are right. That is the downfall. When they have their stuff sitting out overnight, it gathers all that moisture.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't rain, the dew and stuff can really ruin ephemera. Yeah, it always makes me so sad.
Right. The biggest thing from Springfield that I would take from is use the typical thought process. If you want to find a deal, go into the tool booth looking for the glass. Go into the glass booth looking for, go into the man booth to find the jewelry. Go into the ephemera booth to find the knickknacks. Like, seek out those folks that probably got that in an auction lot that really don't value it. That's where I think you're going to find the best deals. Like I remember David, Sarah, and I went into a booth that was primarily almost like farmhouse, and it was almost that shabby chic. There was a lot of wood. There was literally a table of like mid-century glass. There was some Fenton. I think that's where they got their little Blanco picture. And I was literally like, guys, you got to come over here. Like there's an Empoli pitch. There's an Empoli vase and
stuff. It was mixed
like
in with all that new stuff.
And she was like $5, $2.
Yeah.
You can have all this for 25. She was, because she didn't value it. That's where you're going to find your deals, I think, in Springfield if you're looking for them.
Yeah. I think.
And that's Lorraine is agreeing.
Yeah.
Go look for what they don't specialize in, and chances are you'll find a really good deal that way. Yeah.
Yep. If you go into a booth that's filled with swung vases, odds are they're all going to be retail, or he or she is not going to negotiate those prices that much. Now, if they have a whole bunch of quilts and a whole bunch of ephemera and they have 2 or 3 swung vases, odds are you might be able to get those a lot cheaper than the glass person because they don't value them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's just the thing. But that's the thing. I like how you said about going into the kind of like the mantiques, if you will, and that's where you find the jewelry. And that is so true. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a booth. It's not necessarily the aesthetic or the vibe that I'm looking for, but you find those 1 or 2 pieces that they're just kind of like, whatever, and they're like, just get it out of my booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I skim booths a lot. I'm a quick shopper when I'm by myself. I will truck through things because I skim really good, but I do have to be careful not to skim too well for that reason, because sometimes the booths that may not attract me at all because it's not something that I would gravitate towards, somewhere in there is that item that they don't know about that's like right up my alley. So yeah, I try to make sure I check those out too.
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of like what we try to do. You know, you try to find things that are kind of I guess a sleeper item that you know, it's not that person's specialty. It isn't, they don't really, it's, you know, like they may be like Barbies, like they may be like vintage Barbies. They know everything. They're experts on it, but then there's Blanco glass and they're like, nah, it's not really my thing. Right. So they're not going to price it as aggressively as if it was their vintage Barbies that they have in their booth. So yeah, I think that's a great point to make, Jason. I think that was great. A good tip.
Well,
thank you.
Good tip. Well, you guys, we are getting close to that 8:30 hour. We have our other guests are in the back room waiting to join us. So we'll say our goodbyes to Jason, Tina, and Cyndi. But before we do, Jason, Tina, when can we catch you guys next?
Just me? All right. Tomorrow after Misty and Michael's sale, you guys can hop over to Mother Tucker's Antiques. My crew, my buddies, my friends, the treasure hunters, will be having our monthly Christmas sale over on my channel, Mother Tucker's Antiques. That starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then on Wednesday, Vintage Gents, myself, and my partner in crime, David, Junk Drunk Mantiques. It's going to be on his channel. We're going to have the lovely Amie on with us. And then on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, it is the Vintage Quartet. That's over on Sarah's channel, The Traveling Button. It's going to be her, myself, David, Junk Drunk Mantiques, and the lovely Arianna is going to be joining us this week. We're super excited to have her over there with us. So that's my week.
If you want to see me, you have to go watch a video on YouTube. I dropped a new one this morning. And keep checking my Whatnot. I did do my first Whatnot sale last Friday. And truth be told, I had a blast. So it was so much fun. So I don't know that I'll be able to fit it in this week, but I'm looking at possibly next week. So stay tuned.
Good deal. Those links, all of those links are down below in the description. Miss Cyndi, when can we see you next?
I have a video dropping tomorrow morning. If you guys like vintage Christmas, you're going to really like that video. And then I'm always Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern on my channel. This week, I'm going to have a mainly kitsch sale. I'm very much into kitsch, and vintage Christmas is scattered throughout my sales pretty much all year long.
Yes.
But this week, it's going to be primarily kitsch. So if you like that kind of stuff, you want to.
Jason can't make it, Cyndi. Jason can't make the kitsch sale.
And I'm telling you guys,
Misty.
if you don't know, Cyndi has got an amazing eye. She brings beautiful things. I really do highly recommend checking out her sales.
Absolutely.
Matthew.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I do appreciate y'all joining us this evening. As I want to say to everybody that is joining us tonight, and for a few folks that aren't able to join us this evening, I really do hope that this is just the first of many adventures that we get to have with one another. It was a wonderful weekend.
So much fun.
It really was.
I think we need to go east.
One thing you do, you need to come here, and you need to. One quick thing though, just one quick thing. I couldn't think of a better way to spend my birthday than to be here with you guys. Today is my birthday, and I was so excited when you messaged all of us, Michael. So thank you. I couldn't think of a better way to spend my birthday than here with all of
Happy
the
birthday,
guys
Jason.
squad. So thank you guys, and yeah, that made my birthday being here with you guys. Happy
Everyone
lunch with
wish
my
Jason
mom
a
and
happy
Tina, but
birthday.
thank you guys.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday,
guys.
Jason.
Thank
Happy
you,
birthday,
guys. Y'all have a good night.
True. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Okay, you guys leave because I don't know how to kick you out.
No, I don't wanna.
Bye. We'll see you.
Bye.
I kicked him
Alrighty,
out.
guys. You kicked him out. Alrighty. So we've got somebody. Oh, she's just gonna join us now. So we're gonna throw a monkey in the wrench. We got a surprise guest. She's in a different time zone. This is not our surprise guest. First person we're gonna invite in is the Withering Cottage, Miss
Am I
Arianna.
early?
No, you're not. No. And we do have a surprise guest. She was scheduled to be with us, Barb, but with her is the one and only
Oh,
Jeffrey.
I'm the okay. Well, I'm
You're
not
the
really surprised.
mystery.
I'm not the main attraction. No.
Oh, well, our next surprise guest, we'll add her in here. Boom. Is
Oh
Miss Pamela
wow.
Blanchard. Girl, you're muted.
Oh, now she's frozen.
Now you're frozen. Now she's not. But
Well, I made sure that I muted my thing because there's no telling Kelly and Mark's in here, so there's no telling what kind of cussing I'd have been doing.
oh my goodness.
I was
Barb,
watching-
Jeffrey, I have to tell you, you guys, your lighting this evening
Hang
on
on.
point.
I
Oh,
mean,
good.
It is
Right?
wonderful.
Hang on.
This is my first time using my $8 ring light, so
Well, your $8 ring light. Share. Okay, Barb, what is the name of your $8 ring light?
of my what?
The name of it. What? I don't know. It is a really
I
good
think
looking
it was
one.
like Vivitar.
Vivitar.
It's working.
She got
it
it
is
at an
working.
antique store.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Did you read?
Yeah. I had to talk her into it. She's like, "Well, I don't know, $8." I'm like, "They go for like 25." So,
Yeah, I can see that whole conversation in my head right now.
yeah, same.
Mhm.
Me too.
All right, let's go ahead, you guys. We're gonna have the opportunity to introduce yourself again. Just like I said with Jason, Tina, and Cyndi, everybody's links are down below in the description of the video. I know it is an accident that you might not be following or subscribed to somebody. I made it really easy for you. You just have to find, and I even put the times and names in there to make everything super simple for you.
You.
Just click that little blue line there. It took me 30 minutes to put in everybody's links. I'm not even I was like, please don't delete. So please make sure, again, if you're not subscribed, again, it's just an easy way to show some support to some really hardworking people.
For
Miss
free.
Arianna, you want to take it off? Jeffrey, Barb, you want to go next? Miss Pamela, you want to wrap it up for us then?
Am I going now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, first of all, I miss you guys
I
so
know.
bad.
Thank you.
I miss you guys so bad. Hi, I'm Arianna. I'm the Withering Cottage. I sell
Otherwise known as.
the Withering Woman. Thanks for that, Jeffrey. Love you so much. Love you so much. That will be a really cute grandma name, though. Like that's what my grandkids are gonna call me, the Withering Woman.
No, that's what your daughter is going to start calling you when she gets to be about 13.
Yeah, any minute now. But I sell, buy, collect vintage and antiques here on the interwebs of YouTube. On this channel, right here. That's me.
The interwebs.
The interwebs.
Come on, 1997.
It was a great year for me. It was a great year.
Is that the year you were born?
Oh, I love you. Sure, we'll go. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Go for it. Go for it, girl.
And Arianna
Jeffrey,
has it on Tuesday nights.
I do
Tuesday.
tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So it's like a whole marathon. You got Misty and Michael, then you got Jason, and then you got the Withering Woman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whole day's planned.
Get
Probably
it.
more in there in between. I'm sure.
Oh yes, for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Just grab you a tub of ice cream. Sit there with a
whole
spoon.
Whole
You're
party.
good to go, right? Jeffrey and Barb.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, see, technically, this was Barb's slot, and then I learned about it at the last minute, like a
Well,
Well, then I don't have to talk as much, so it's perfect.
because somebody's an idiot, and I don't check a group text.
you're not
or
an idiot,
chat.
Jeffrey.
Because the event's already happened, and why would I look at it? But anyways,
We need to rename the chat, apparently.
yeah, we had this like in order to orchestrate all of us, this group thing. Anyway, but beside the point. So I'm Jeffrey, and I sell crap online.
Okay.
Vintage
Sell
crap.
it. Way to sell it.
Beautiful
Yeah. Make
vintage
sure to
makeup.
show up at his sale. You can buy his craft, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm really
He
good at
sells
it.
beautiful
No.
things.
Yeah, and actually Barb does too. We do our sales together on Friday nights at 6:30 p.m. Central on YouTube. I made a second channel for it and everything. She'll bring like,
Fancy.
we're really all the pinkies are up for this.
All of them.
Get it.
Everybody put
It's
them
like an
up.
orchestration. Barb, she'll
Get
bring
it.
10 items. I'll bring 30. And we're on for like 2 hours or something.
2.5.
Something like that.
Very entertaining sales.
Yes.
They're a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's us.
I have
That's
to
what we
keep
do.
him in line, but I think everybody likes it when he gets out of line. So
I can say things. I'll get in trouble. And she'll spank me.
no,
Ooh,
no,
no.
not that far.
No, because she's
Okay.
married and everything.
This is real behind the scenes tonight. Wow. Stuff going
I have a
on.
brother, so
What?
And yeah, so people ask me sometimes, do I sell anywhere else? I don't right now, but I do have Instagram, Winking Owl Antiques on Instagram. Maybe someday I'll put some things on there or eBay. We'll see.
yeah.
Miss Pama Bama, the woman who needs really no introduction, but just to make it official, lady.
Hey, baby, I'm Pamela, and I sell on Saturday nights with my daughter. Well, sometimes with my daughter. She's always late, so, but she'll pop in. And on Saturday nights at 7 Central and 8 Eastern. And I personally collect Victorian and transferware. That's my two main things. Oh, and vintage Christmas.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
and vintage Christmas. It all started with transferware and vintage Christmas. That's where the whole thing started. And then it just, you know how it is when you start collecting something, it just multiplies. But my favorite things are transferware, vintage Christmas, and Victorian. That's my favorite things. And then that led to, well, I've got to cull this a little bit. So, because I want to buy this, but I can't buy this unless I sell this. So that led into selling. And then I was watching, well, first of all, I had to retire early from work, 5 years early, but still early, due to some health problems I was having. And one day I clicked on, and there was Misty having a live sale. And I'm thinking, all right, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
I think I can do this. And ever since then, I've never looked back.
Good for you. And you took a
Misty
risk.
and Alex were the first two people I ever, Misty, Alex, and a lady called Karen Lebo, who lives out on, she shops at the Long Beach Flea Market. We're at Long Beach, California. And Karina at Tarnished Treasures. That's the first four people I ever started watching. And from there, I found everybody else.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud that I think that it's wonderful for people to think, because I think that's how we all really kind of got started. It's like, I could do that. I'm going to give that a try. And it can be life-changing. It really, really can.
Yeah. I originally saw Vintage Vinny.
That
was like 5 years ago. And he was doing like little haul videos in his bedroom with like Halloween stuff. Oh, that's really fitting. You see all this stuff? Like, seriously.
It's like a full circle.
She has a problem behind us.
It looks like a great problem to me.
I didn't look like a problem to me either.
I'll take that problem off your hands, Barb.
I love it.
I do too.
I would love, and I know we've all kind of encouraged Barb to do a YouTube channel, but I would love to like see all Barb's displays and
Yeah, well, sometimes we've done those and put them on Jeffrey's channel. But
Mhm.
one of these times, you never know.
The thing
Oh, the
about
eyelash. I was like, what in the world are you talking about? The eyelash. I remember that. Okay. I'm sorry, Barb.
the thing about why she has reservations about a channel is I think just like the ongoing responsibility of it. It's like that's what
Your
you said to
family.
me at least.
Yeah, just I feel like, I mean, I could see just doing, one video a week or something and that kind of thing. But I also think that if I ever really want to do it, maybe I just want to wait until I really have more time. So just trying to figure that out. But
And you have teenage children. That's a lot of work.
Right.
Mhm.
yeah, this is the first time that Michael's asked me to be on Rescue Squad before. And like, I just came from a soccer game and it just worked out like just barely. So it's hard on weeknights.
Can I point out Barb's shirt real quick?
Oh, yes. My
So-
lovely gift
Oh,
from
yes.
Jason and Tina.
Jason and Tina they had shirts made for everybody, and it's so and it says I've got friends in vintage places.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
has
so
all
cute.
of our pictures and
I think it's cute as a button.
I'm gonna wear mine tomorrow. I haven't worn mine yet. I just got laundry done from so I'll wear it tomorrow.
Hey, I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to do it. I mean, so, all right. So, Arianna, this was your first time, right?
Yes.
And Pamela, it was your first time, yeah?
Yes.
What did you ladies think?
I loved it. I want to go
Okay.
get Navarro.
Okay.
Me too.
It was
Let's
so
go.
fun. Okay, so how I got started in this, and I think it goes down to all of our bones, is just the passion of the vintage, the hunt, and really the hunt. That's what we are. We're modern day treasure hunters, and that was like being on an ocean looking for buried treasure. Like, it was just so fun to me, and I got to spend it with people who are just like genuinely good people and who have the same interests as me, which in my town, like, I have friends, of course.
Yeah, but they
I
don't
love my
understand.
friends. But to talk to them like, I go out thrifting and I find a thing and I say, look, I found this. And they're like, that's
Great.
garbage. And I'm like,
Well, like,
I don't understand. This is nice garbage. And they're like, nope, don't get it. And then to be around all of you that got it while doing what I love, treasure hunting, it was like a weekend for the books. It was so much fun for me. And I got to spend time with Pam, the car ride up, car ride back. It was so fun.
It was amazing. And Pam, I'm glad to see that Arianna didn't skin you and turn you into a lamp. I'm very pleased.
No. Soft arms.
You collect taxidermy and all of a sudden you're a weirdo.
You're the one that said it.
Oh, I did say she had really soft skin.
She
But
does.
you guys
I
are the
felt
ones-
it.
You guys are the ones that said I wanted to turn it into. You felt it, Misty?
I mean, maybe I was the one that said, watch out, she's going to
soft.
turn you into a lamp.
Yeah, probably so. Your Hannibal Lecter moment.
Uh-huh.
I'm leaving. Take this.
Pamela, what did you think for your first time?
Well, I mean, y'all know I'm never at a loss for words, ever. I looked at Laura and Sarah at one point, and I just said, I'm just really on sensory overload. I couldn't, at one point I looked at Cyndi and couldn't even talk. I was stuttering. You know, I mean, I was trying to tell her I was. It's like, I just was not prepared. I tell you that. I just was not prepared. And there is nothing barring some, there's nothing keeping me away from the spring show other than a catastrophic event. That's the only
doing
reason
it.
I would stay home.
We've got our hotels booked. We are ready to do it again in May.
Yeah.
And the fall.
And in
the fall.
September.
Yep.
Now,
Next fall too.
oh, it's every May. Well, the extravaganzas are every May and September. Now they do have flea markets that are not every, I don't know if it's every month or might even be every weekend. I don't know, but they're not to the extent, they're not as large as what the extravaganzas are. But the extravaganzas are like the flea markets times 50. you know, so it's an amazing time.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not going back.
Oh, I know.
But Kelly asked me when I got back, she said, Mom, what's your favorite thing about the whole thing? And I said, really and truly, it was, and this is no joke, I know this is mushy, but it was at nighttime when we would all get together.
Yes.
And the fact that nobody was thinking about filming, nobody was thinking about putting content out or anything.
No.
We were just all being ourselves and just having a good time together. That, I kid you not, I promise you, that was my favorite time.
We collectively decided, I know that a lot of our viewers really wanted us to do a live and go live, but we kind of collectively decided that we just didn't want to. We wanted to really be there in that moment with everybody, and, you know, to do something kind of like this, to do like a recap. But honestly, we had the meet and greet and we wanted to do that, but we really wanted it to be where we could just kind of just hang out and enjoy one another without any transactional anything involved.
It felt like summer camp.
There's Richard. Hi, Richard.
Richard.
I'm still open to be the chambermaid.
Richard is our new adoptee. We have adopted Richard, and we're never letting go. He was the owner of the inn, and he was so accommodating, warm, welcoming, presentable, like just an overall great person. Made the trip even more memorable.
I think we all instantly became friends. Do you know what I mean? That hangout, we all instantly connected, and it was a great evening, and I cannot wait to do it again.
Richard, you never told me if the cottage is open for May. I need to know.
He's supposed to be I'm waiting on that email, Richard. He said he's going to email me.
If you don't email me, I'm coming up there with a tent, and I'm camping in the backyard, and you can't kick me out, and I want to hear it.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
You can sleep. You know what? You can sleep in Jeffrey's spare room.
Yeah.
My spare room.
You know.
Oh. Yeah, the spare room.
Well, I can't
Spare
go in
room.
May, sadly. I can only get away with the
Barb.
That's
not acceptable.
There's too much going on at my house
I
in
know.
May, I feel like. So I don't think it's going to happen, but.
And I can't go in spring either. I'll be in.
So he'll be in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll have room no matter what.
But I
So
get my room back in the fall.
Yes.
Yeah,
Me too.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I want my basement dungeon.
No, 103 is not open, Richard. We're booking them all.
Yeah.
No, he's saying 103 is open.
Yeah,
and
I
Misty's
said
like,
it
no,
has
they're all
bunk
booked.
beds.
They're all booked.
Not it.
That one has bunk beds. So I said maybe Mary Beth and Laura could get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll discuss the details later.
Everybody's like, what? No, but you know
are
what?
we
To
live?
Pamela's point, but this is the thing though, to Pamela's point, and you know what, Pamela, I'm going to ditto. I mean, it was an amazing experience. It was fun to go out shopping. We all got content, but at the end of the day, when we all came back, and we did have a beautiful place, the setting was perfect. I mean, it was perfect to allow us to really be in fellowship and community with one another. There would be groups out front, groups in the back, groups downstairs, groups on the main floor. So it was just perfect, and everybody came together. Everybody was present. You know, there were some photos, maybe there were some quick snippets of things, but everybody was so present. Everybody was so engaged
Well,
with
honestly,
one
I
another.
didn't take enough photos.
I didn't either.
I wish I would have
Neither,
taken.
Jeffrey.
It's different because we were kind of talking like Sarah and David and Amie, who come from the Instagram world and very much do a lot of static photos and stuff. And we're all videoing for YouTube and stuff. And they took so many pictures. And I was like, I didn't take any
Yeah,
pictures.
like I like think of it like turning myself off, and then like so I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I don't have to worry about filming. I did that, and then like, you know, I'm like, social? What social? Like my phone.
Well,
Where's
we
my-
had a photo session at the end, though. We were like,
We
Yeah.
did.
photo session. And
Yeah.
we were taking each
Well,
other.
because we had professional photographers here.
True.
Yeah.
True.
No, we didn't really. I mean,
No,
they were in our group.
photographers.
We're
Yeah.
so conceited.
Oh,
he means we didn't hire that
No,
son
yeah.
of a pretentious.
We
They're
hired-
like, you did? It's like, no,
No.
wait.
Sarah and David
Yeah.
are professional photographers by trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mother Tucker's, I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tina.
Tina. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that, and I'm not sure what video this is going to be included in, but I did get footage of the inn, Jeffrey and I walking around and showing bits of the inn, and I'm not sure what video that will be attached to at this point, but it will be coming out very soon.
I have some more photos of that too. I need to post still.
Sarah's video this morning had some of the inn, I think, in it as well.
I think they were out front because
Yeah.
when Jason and Tina,
Yeah.
when they
I got a
finally
photo of
met
the
in
basement.
person.
Yes.
The
Did
speakeasy.
you?
Uh-huh. And well, I
Okay.
mean, like Misty said, she recorded it, so like you can see all that in detail.
Yeah.
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 Oh poop. What was I about to say? I don't know what went right out of my head. Gosh darn it.
Well, we were excited because it's the Scioto Inn in Urbana, Illinois, and it's when you walk in, it's like if you love vintage and antiques, you're just like
Urbana, Wisconsin, Ohio.
did I say Illinois?
Yeah.
Strangely,
Ohio.
there is one in Urbana, Illinois too, because I was really confusing myself when I was looking it up.
Oh,
Really?
So, Miss Pamela,
Yes.
we need to hear the flip flop story because so many people are asking about the flip flop story, and I have my
And
nerdy.
Arianna didn't hear it either.
I had my nerdy board game nights on Saturday night, so I can never attend Miss Pamela's sales, but I want to hear this flip flop story.
It was just 18 hours of a train wreck was what it was. It was 18 hours of a train wreck. Okay, so let's start with when Arianna and her props to the Mr. Withering Cottage. First of all, props to him. Because
The
not
Withering
only
Man.
is he just about the sexiest thing you ever want to lay your eyes on, he has the patience of Job and drove that. Not even a break. Do you think he fussed anytime we wanted to stop twice an hour in TT? No, he whooped that bad boy right off the road and slid it to the side, let us out. And then, but he just.
Miss Pamela, were you peeing on the side of the highway? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He would have not let that happen. He would have not let that happen.
But if she had to, he would probably hold out his jacket.
He'd have busted out the blanket.
Right.
He would have. But okay, so little backstory here. Before I go anywhere, note to yourselves: tanned fat is better than untanned fat.
Yes, I agree.
So
What?
even though I work outside and I'm tan from my waist up, my legs never tan. So I went and got a spray tan. Okay. Always do every time I travel because I wear shorts and dresses. Well, I go get a spray tan. Arianna, we get to the hotel. I got to meet Michael and Misty and everybody the next morning. I get to the hotel. I get in the bathtub. I'm soaking my bath and I'm back. And all of a sudden, this skunk starts permeating the whole bathtub, the water and everything. I mean, it is like Moody Swamp. I think, oh my God. So Cyndi still ain't bathed. Okay. So I'm thinking, I get out, run the water out, and I'm thinking, I don't do nothing but smear it. I just smear it everywhere. So I'm thinking, oh shit, what am I going to do? So, now, okay, in the hotels, you have to request rooms. Anyway, I use every towel, every bath towel, every hand towel,
They're all brown.
And it is stained like somebody's dunked it in coffee.
Richard's like,
Richard ain't gonna let you stay at the inn now.
I'm thinking that I've done it. Though. I'm thinking I've got this under control. Everything's fine. I get one of the nasty towels. I wipe the steam off the mirror. And there I am looking like a leper. I have got a big white patch here, a tan patch here, a white patch here, a tan patch here. I am splotched like you wouldn't believe. So I just say to heck with it. So I had a pair of yoga pants, so I wore the yoga pants the next day because I knew I was going to meet everybody. I had the yoga pants, I had the shorts, and my arms wasn't that bad. So then, of course, I go to meet Michael Todd. This is the next morning. Oh my God, and he smells divine. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. So I'm loving on him, and just hey, Michael Todd. 10 seconds later, he looks down at me and he said, "Girl, your eyelashes falling off your face." And all of this humidity up there in Ohio and everything. I hit Michael Todd, the love of my life, and I've got a caterpillar crawling down the side of my face.
I said, there ain't no saving that one, girl.
No. They wasn't no saving it. They wasn't no nothing. It was melted slap off my face. So I just go pull them both off and throw them in the grass over there at George's booth. So then me and Cyndi's going home that night. So tired our butts is dragging. And I couldn't pick my foot up high enough, I guess, to get on the curb at the hotel. So my flip-flop, the toe of my flip-flop caught on the curb and tore my flip-flop up. So there I was hobbling around, and Cyndi wouldn't. One of us couldn't get in because we was laughing. No elevator in this hotel either. You got to lug this shit up both flights of stairs. No elevator. No, not one that's broke. No elevator at all. So here we are chugging up the stairs, me and my limp foot, Cyndi and her blister. So here we go. I get up there and Cyndi says, I start looking around. She says, well, that's okay. You can just wear another pair of shoes. I said, I ain't brought another pair of shoes. She looked at me like I had 4 heads. She said, you came to this place with one pair of shoes. Oh. I said, yeah. She said, you're sure? I said, I'm pretty sure. I said, that's okay. I'll go get some flip-flops tomorrow. She said, oh, God, no, you're not going to find no flip-flops. You're not going to find no flip-flops in Ohio. She said, it's October.
Yeah, they put those flip-flops, they put them back. They get them.
I get to think about, well, she says, here, what size shoe do you wear? I said, a 7. She said, here, that's my size or something like that. Here you go. Well, no. Let's just get it straight. Cyndi's size 7 and my size 7 is different. I'm not saying don't wear size 7. I'm just saying they're different. So I wear them very gingerly, walking very gingerly. I find some flip-flops and I come back, and that's the end of that story. But that was the longest 18 hours of my life. I'm with you.
So I've decided it's a goal of mine now that when we go back in May, I will find Miss Pamela's eyelashes.
They're at booth 103. They're at booth 103.
They're somewhere around George's booth.
Cyndi said that Pretzel found Miss Pam's lashes.
She has them in a jar. She's saving them.
I'll send them to you in the mail.
Please do. Oh.
I gotta say, that is probably the most I have ever laughed on Vintage Rescue Squad. And leave it to nobody else but Miss Pam Abama, the one and only. This is exactly what this weekend was. This was what this weekend was. Amazing.
It was amazing, though.
It was.
It really, really was. I think that, Michael, talking to Michael afterwards, it was an emotional weekend. We did not want to leave.
Yeah.
Did not want to leave.
You guys got, you see us all collaborating and on the screen, but at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is I had only met Misty twice, Miss Pam once, and Michael Todd never, and Jeffrey and Barb twice. So although we share screen, that person to person connection is
Yeah.
just so different. And so, they're real people. And when you finally get to meet your friends, it's just a really cool feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is.
Oh, what an amazing half hour.
I'm so glad Pam came on my time slot. Like, I'm
That
so
was
happy.
that was fun. So you guys, our next guests are waiting in the wings. So before we conclude, of course, thank you everyone for coming on with us. And let's just go around. We'll go Arianna, Jeffrey, Barb, and Pam. When can we see you guys next?
Well, every Tuesday night, I have a sale with my mom. She's a mess. We're a mess
Oh,
together.
she's lovely.
We also do always have a surprise guest magician named Arianna. She comes on every Tuesday night. You can see her there.
Mhm.
But we sell 30 plus vintage items tomorrow night on the Withering Cottage YouTube channel, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome.
Oh, I love her.
My mom?
Oh, you too. I love you.
Yeah,
My mom.
I love my mom too. It's so funny we have that in common.
Jeffrey and Barb, when can we catch you guys next?
Where are we?
Friday night, right?
Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Central. And then I post videos throughout the week whenever it is. I don't even know. I don't have a schedule. And yeah, I think that's everything. We're very simple people.
And
So-
Jeffrey has 2 channels, so make sure that you're following
the
both.
live sale channel, which is just Real Nifty Vintage Live. I mean, it's really original and hard to remember, but
You have to say it the right way, Jeffrey.
Really?
There you go.
just check.
Can I
There
say
you go.
something real quick? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not used to having sales with other people, so I forgot. Also, on Thursday, I have a sale with Sarah at the Traveling Button at 8 p.m. for the Vintage Quartet. And then also on Saturday morning, it starts at 9 a.m. You can find me and Michael Todd on Catherine Young's channel for the Dusty, Rusty, and Crusty sale. I'm so sorry, Catherine and Sarah. I'm not used to having sales, but yes, those are places.
They're going to be fun.
There's a lot. And Miss Pam Abama, when can we see you next, lady?
Well, first of all, I had to say something because y'all asked me about the flip-flop story and it got my train of thought off. But I have to say thank you to Jeffrey. And I know I know that there's some people that thinks Jeffrey might not be sweet because sometimes they think that he's snippy to Barb. Okay, sometimes they think that.
No,
We're getting deep.
Now, he's not snippy to Barb, and Barb was waiting on him, patting her foot and everything, and I couldn't find George when I first got there. And that sweet baby, he took me from one end of that fairground to the other, all the way around, and took me straight to George's booth instead of just saying, oh, it's over there by the ice cream cone or something like that. He took me straight there. So all y'all can just kiss it where the sun don't shine that don't like Jeffrey.
Well, maybe they'll hire me as like a tour guide at the fairground or whatever.
An usher, yeah.
He is lovely. He's very lovely. I love our little cat.
And I have my sales on Saturday night at 7 Central. Why can I never remember that? 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I never can remember that.
7 Central. I don't even. Everyone needs to be on the same time zone.
The easiest thing to do, you guys, is, as I said at the beginning, and I want to continue to reiterate throughout tonight's Vintage Rescue Squad, is that everybody's links are down below in the description of the video. They're their little blue lines. Is all you have to do is find the time slot and the name, or the easiest thing is just to go ahead and go through and click follow, subscribe, like, comment. Everybody out there, again, it's completely free. You got some really hardworking, hilarious folks up here on the screen. Just a little bit of encouragement, right?
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was definitely our pleasure. I hope you all have a good night. Thank you, Barb.
Oh,
all right, guys.
You have to kick me off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you have. Misty will kick you off because I don't know how to do that part. Alrighty, guys. So waiting in the wings, we have got There they are. Bam. We got Laura and Mary Beth from Fat Bird Finds. And we've got the one, the only, everybody's favorite winking and Esco kitty. And Emma Amie.
Hello.
How are you ladies doing?
Good.
Have you recovered from that story?
I don't know how we're supposed to follow that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I don't have a story. I don't have flip flops. I don't wear flip flops. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Listen, I got two things to say. One, Laura deserves a big spanking because she didn't tell everybody it was her birthday when we were there. And two, the only thing, and I told Laura this several times, I was like, the only thing that would make this weekend any more perfect is if Mary Beth were here.
Oh, thanks, Misty.
Way to make her feel worse.
I know. You were definitely missed.
Well, thank you. Hopefully it's okay that I'm here, even though I wasn't at the extravaganza. I've just kind of invited myself onto this live stream.
You've experienced the extravaganza before, so you know what it's like.
True.
So, Laura, Mary Beth, you want to introduce yourselves, and Amie, do you guys we'll make it official, of course.
Okay. So I'm Mary Beth. I'm Laura, and we're Fat Bird Finds. We're just a duo YouTube channel. We're out there on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and we do, what Michael and Misty do. That's what's happening.
That's the short version, right?
That's right.
And I went to Springfield, and Mary Beth stayed home this time. So
yes, it was a shame.
But we do both have experience there. So we went to all the places last year.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah. Zena said, "MB, everyone missed having the microphone shoved in their face." Remember last year, the microphone? I forgot about it.
I took it. I gave it to Laura, and she took it. And when she came back, I was like, "Did you do interviews?" And she was like, "No." I'm like, "Laura, come on."
I mean, I could just barely get my phone out and just take a video, much less hook the microphones up and then hook that microphone up. I was like, no, I can't.
No, she did it. I'm usually the video person, so she was out of her element.
She did really good. She did really good.
Yeah,
I meant to do it, but I just didn't.
You were invested in the moment.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And now, Amie, say hello, woman.
Hello, woman. I am Amie of Enamor Amie. I am also a full-time seller here on YouTube, a content creator. I loved filming at the show. I definitely regret not taking pictures with everybody, though. I missed a few people. So next time, I'm going to take more pictures for sure. That's one of my goals. And so Sarah, the Traveling Button, and I, we have a little talk show on Mondays. We rotate from our channels. It's called We Are Vintage. We do a little chat about vintage, collecting, antiques, all that good stuff. And then we do a little mini live sale after that. So that's every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then usually I'm a guest sometime during the week on somebody else's channel too. This week I will be a guest on the Vintage Gents with Jason of Mother Tuckers and David of Junk Drunk Mantiques. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's right. And fluff, boom. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. I mean, okay, so yeah. So what did you ladies think? Because Laura, Amie, Mary Beth, obviously you didn't make it with us this year, but what did you guys think about the show this year? Did you recognize any differences? Was it the same? What did you think about the prices? Do you think prices have gone up? Or have they remained the same? I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
Dixie.
Amie, you're first.
Okay, yes, dog barking. Got it. Well, I've been going to the extravaganzas, I don't know, close to 15 years, a long time. And I can say it's pretty consistent that the prices there are high. It's always been like that. But I think Jason and Tina touched on this earlier, that though there are some pricier items and booze, there are a lot of pockets of affordable things. There's definitely deals to be had. And pretty much, I didn't buy a ton there, but what I did buy, all but one item I did get less than what was priced on the item. So people are willing to deal with you, as if you ask. And And I feel like, people are want to buy their, they want to sell their stuff. So it doesn't hurt to ask, except for the bin guy. I'm pretty sure that was where I got my, you can see him back here, that's squeaky dog. That was the only item that he would not budge on. And I think it was the same guy because I recognized his voice. So.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty, I don't know. I kind of thought it was pretty expensive. I enjoy it though. I mean, that's what the people were there for. They're just like us. They're there to make money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's just a bonus when you can hunt around and find something that's a good deal. It's not all that surprising that the prices were high, but they were kind of high, I thought. And but I enjoy the whole thing. I just like the whole atmosphere. I like for it to be, a hunt. I like for it to be a treasure hunt instead of just, having just tons and tons of stuff to have to choose from. So, and I like to see what people like and what brings the most money. So it's just all a great experience.
But what's not more expensive right now? I mean, it's taking people more gas to get there. It's costing people more to stay in hotels probably than ever before. So, I feel like the extra expenses to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think, Laura, you hit the nail on the head a little bit too. We are, we are going in looking at things coming from a reseller's point of view. We're out trying to find things that we can flip for a profit. And, the dealers they're not necessarily like when I had my antique store, I'm not really trying to sell my things for other resellers to buy. I want to sell things for collectors and that. So I'm not really trying to market my items for resellers. So I think that we tend to forget that sometimes when we're out shopping that, this is so high, this is so expensive. And it could be for what we're wanting to do with it. But for a collector to come in, it was a great place. Some of the prices on the seasonal things, just because it's fall and everybody's getting excited for the holidays, those are a little inflated. But, I think that for a lot of things, we're priced within a retail price, maybe a little bit more. But I think the dealers know that they have to leave a little bit of room for negotiation. And most dealers, other than that one guy, will be open to it. And I think it's all in the way that you approach it. If you approach a dealer with a respectable offer, they're more willing to go back and forth with you a little bit. But I think sometimes we do forget that. I know that I do. When I walk into a place and I'm like, oh, everything was so high, but it's high for what I am wanting it to be.
Right.
Well, do you ladies think, and the way that I approached this year is and that's exactly, and like Sativa said, and Misty, you were saying that, Laura, Mary, we all know that the economy, it's difficult out there. And I think that that's something that's really important though, is that as resellers, we approach a situation that, it really is to our benefit that we do still try to find the best quality of stuff, yet we try to find it even cheaper than maybe what we would have in a very good, robust economy, because, the vintage, the antiques, they are ultimately luxury goods in many instances, and you got to put the gas and the food, it's the necessities. So and maybe that is because in my head, I was like, oh, I feel like it was more expensive. Was it more expensive, or was it my reseller mind telling me, no, you can't pay that much anymore for something like that?
Maybe. Right. Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. And I think that all of us with this economy, we are being very cautious and we're thinking about things a little bit more before we, pay up for specific things.
Absolutely.
I do think in general that Springfield as a whole is just a little bit higher. I just went to Elkhorn, Wisconsin's antique market over the weekend. And that market is just as large as Springfield. I think it took my mom and I 5.5, 6 hours to go through it. And the prices there are much better for resellers. I can say that definitely it's not as expensive as Springfield. So I think it just depends on the area and the vendors and what they bring to offer. And I don't like, if you're looking for blow molds, I don't think Springfield's the place for you. All the blow molds there are like
Or swung
way
glass
expensive.
faces.
Yes, and swung faces. Yeah.
Now I'm curious about Elkhorn. Is there, because Laura, Mary Beth, you were saying that you were there last year, yeah, at Elkhorn, and Misty, you were saying no. Where was? Oh, you were at Brink.
Flea market on our way home last year.
Okay. Did you guys? I mean, do you think is it like is Elkhorn and Brimfield? Is that more like local people? So maybe they're not like dealers per se. They're just. Do you think that plays into them having lower
Actually, there
prices?
were a couple vendors in Elkhorn that were set up in Springfield because I recognized the stuff in their booth. There's a lot of people that travel from far, like up north, Dakotas, California, up in there, Missouri, Kansas. They all travel north to set up at that show. Some people from Michigan and Illinois, but yeah. I think people just travel all over the place to come set it up at those antique markets. It's what they do full time. So
that's one place I would like to go up to. I've never been there.
Well, I would like to go to Brimfield sometime.
Same.
Just to see what it's like.
And what is it, the one up here?
You can't do it in one day. Like you need like several days to see it all because it's so massive.
Yeah. And that's a good East Coast kind of thing. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's like my mom's. It's always been on my mom's bucket list for as long as I can remember. So it's really a bucket list kind of place to go. And it's the same. I expect would be the same kind of thing. You would just be totally dependent on what you were looking for, what was hot, what was not. That's what
When is it? When
I think they do it twice.
I think they just had it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they do a spring and a fall.
I think it was the week before Springfield, maybe.
Hi, Nan.
It's kind of like, I think it's like, although I've never been there, they used to have one. George, you might remember this. They used to have what they call Heart of the Country in Nashville. And when you have Heart of the Country in Nashville, you had not only the show itself, this big antique show and everything, but I mean, like all around, people would like rent hotel rooms and just open the doors and put their stuff out like a yard sale. I mean, it was just like, it's like a whole community kind of thing. I think Brimfield's kind of the same way. There's just field after field after field after field. It's not just one place.
Wow.
You got to drive, and maybe we should do like a people mover. We'll have like a little party bus, a vintage party bus. It'll be air conditioned. We can like chill. It'll be spaced out. It'll have room for storage.
That's all right.
Yes. You could do flipping and sipping from it.
Extra flip flops.
Yeah.
Extra flip flops. Maybe a few extra hand towels just in case the spray tans get out of hand.
No, Richard's going to be like, that Pamela needs to bring her own towels when she comes back.
He's going to say she can stay at one of the rooms across the street.
It took her a few days to work that story all up to get it as good as it was tonight, man. I didn't hear that story on the trip.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't hear it on the trip either.
Yeah, I didn't hear the spray tan. I was present for the eyelash.
Yes. And I got to touch her really soft arm.
Yes.
Not soft arm. I'll always remember.
She's very tiny. She's very tiny.
I would say that was like a bucket list item was to meet Pama Bama and have her say, "Hey, baby." That was like, I was like, yes. Pam is just, you can't help but smile when you're in the same room with that woman. So it was amazing.
Do you guys, this is maybe an odd question, but now that, and Arianna was speaking to it, but do you guys feel like it's different? Do you know what I mean? Like it's as she was saying, like we've actually all met now. Well, Amie and Laura, that was your first time meeting, but we've all met previously in the past in some kind of combination. But like after that first time, doesn't it seem realer all of the sudden. You get to know people, and you work with them, and you collaborate, you do sales with them, and you conversate, you shoot messages. But then once you're there, once you're present with that person and you can physically look them in the eye, then all of this, it seems so much realer to me somehow. Isn't that crazy?
Definitely. I cry whenever I leave Michael.
You do not. You lie.
No, I do. I do. I get a little upset because it's always like the thing of it is like when Michael and I are together, it's like we've been together forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've been together forever. And then when we're not, like when I go anywhere else, I'm always seeking out and looking for where he's at, and he's not there.
She's like, where are you at? Where are you at?
You know what I mean? And this time it was a little bit different because Sarah and David came back home with me. So I wasn't like, I didn't have that. I still had an exciting adventure to come, Yeah. But yeah, no, I get upset when we have to leave each other.
I feel like once we all gathered together that first night, like it just, everybody felt like we all knew each other. It was like a family coming together.
It was a family reunion.
It was. And it was just so nice to be able to just not even talk about business or YouTube or anything in particular, but just have nice conversations with people in the same room. It was really nice. I think that was one of my favorite things about the whole weekend. And it went by too quickly. So.
And just bouncing off ideas, because everybody together really wants people. They really want people's businesses to thrive and to do well and succeed and have such good intentions for one another. And I think that helps a lot too. And that really made a big difference.
I 100% agree. I think that, I don't know, it was an amazing experience. Again, I can't say that enough. I don't know how best to put it into words, but it very much was like it was a family reunion. And you've got, you have to understand there was over 16 I know there was at least 16 of us. And you've got a lot of personalities. And a lot of these personalities are meeting for the first time. Maybe you had personalities that worked well over here by themselves, but how are they going to do within this group? So it's always kind of like a very like, oh boy, like a family reunion, right? You just never know. Is Aunt Joe and Uncle Bob going to be getting along this year, And it did. It was just everybody got along. It was just phenomenal. It really, truly was.
And the meet and greet was lovely. And in fact,
amazing.
They Springfield, their organizers have messaged me, and they are really wanting us to do it again. And I have some ideas that I'm thinking about to making it a little bit better. So hopefully that can pan out. We have a year, because we'll do the meet and greet again in September. May, I think that the September, just once a year is fine for that. But I have some ideas that I want to, bring across to them. And I mean, we didn't get kicked out. We sang Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. There was another song, wasn't there? I think there were 2 songs that were sung.
Yeah, you guys waited till I went to the tent to get my Peace Love shirt.
Yeah, and then we all went and got one.
Yeah, but you led us to the Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think having more time next year. I don't know, having more time. That was my thing with them, is having more time next year would be great, but then we can't do it in the dining tent because around 11 o'clock, people are coming in to eat lunch. And so we need to see if we can have it in another location.
Well, it would be cool though too, is because some of those buildings, they weren't filled with vendors. So it would be nice to be out of the sun with one of those giant industrial fans blowing on us. Just saying.
We kind of talked too that it would be cool for us each to go in together and bring like a couple bins and set up a booth and sell our items at the flea market, and then have time slots where schedule where like Mary Beth and Laura will be there for an hour, and then me and Mark will be there for an hour, you know what I mean? And then have time to be able to sell things and go shopping and then run into people. And so I don't know, there's things that could be worked out.
There you go, George.
I mean, it just it just makes sense. I've said that before too. Yeah, and George and I are still on the bandwagon. We're still on the what do we call it now? The corporate picnic.
The corporate picnic.
Yes, because we can set up our own event like that.
There's possibilities to where we can maybe have the corporate picnic there. We'll talk to them and see that we really want to have a corporate picnic, but we might have to rent out one of the empty barns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Richard needs to be making some phone calls.
Why is Richard making that phone
You know
call?
some people, right, Richard?
No, we don't. And but see, Jeffrey, that's the nice thing, is because then we won't have to, because if it's a structure, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to worry about whether we have the meet and greet. Yep, everything. It'll be nice. It'll be nice like that.
We will not be in the air-conditioned barn, though.
I just want to say, I know that I see a lot of names in the chat tonight that actually came to the meet and greet. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And the people that we ran into in Heart of Ohio and the Springfield Antique Centers that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we ran into you guys. This is so fun. And asked to take pictures and just chatted. That was just the highlight for sure. And I got to hug Jeanette, and that was so nice. It was so nice that Jeanette came out to the meet and greet. Yeah.
Everybody was so nice, just over the top, and I felt like I already knew these people, just the same way I feel like I already knew you guys. It's the same kind of thing, because you get in the chats, and you have all these jokes and inside jokes and all that kind of stuff, and people brought stickers, and people wore our shirts, and I mean, people not just at the meet and greet. Mary Beth said, "Did anybody recognize you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, yes!" Like people were like, "Laura!" I mean,
you could hear them shouting down the road.
It's just most kind of surreal experience. It's just really neat.
Yeah. I think that next year would be nice to do some sort of like where everyone brings a flyer with their information, to do like a little networking thing. This is, me, this is when I have my sales. These are the platforms that I sell on, and do a little meet and greet, because maybe people want to collaborate together and do live sales together. Maybe, so having these people talk and forge those friendships, I think is just a great thing. Exchange email addresses and work on that. I agree. It wasn't long enough. We had to be out of there before the lunch crowd came in.
I think that it was impactful, though, right? Like, I feel like we still got to meet a lot of people. That was an amazing experience. And I think that a lot of times maybe we forget the impact that the videos can have for people, or where the videos find people in their lives or in their days. And it is a welcome distraction to watch the videos, to have the lives, to have the sales. And I think especially the sales, because, we're up here, we're conducting business, it's transactional, we want everybody to have a good time. But I heard that consistently is, thank you so much. It helps brighten my day. It makes me laugh. And that is so what it is about. And that it's so meaningful. And sometimes you get caught up in, the business aspects of it. And that includes subscribers and the likes and the comments and all of those superfluous kind of things, but are necessary to be able to do this. But then you forget the real world human impact. And it was amazing and humbling to get to see people eye to eye and hear them say and express that to you. That was impactful for sure.
And it's a privilege, don't you think, Michael? I mean, people they invite us into their homes and into their lives, and they spend their time, when they could spend it anywhere else. They spend their time and enjoy it being with us. And then they take the time to write a note or an email that says, you know, gosh, I don't know what I would have done without Friday nights. You know, I had the worst day, and then it's just the highlight of my week when I get home on Friday night. I mean, that is really a privilege.
Yeah,
it is.
I had a lady come to Layman's today. I just happened to be there today, and she was shy. She was kind of shy, and she was my mom's age. And so mom introduced me, and I had like something to give her, some stickers or whatever. And she didn't watch constantly, but I heard her when I walked off, you know, she said something to my mom like, well, I just want to tell you that your daughter is just a blessing to me. I just, you know, I just wanted you to know that, you know, she touches people, and I don't know. It was just very sweet.
And I'm sure that made your mom feel really proud.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was humbled at the meet and greet to meet those people that think enough of us, you know, to do that.
Yeah.
And
And
even some lurkers came to the meet and greet.
Yes.
And said, I watch you guys, I watch everything, I watch all the sales. I just don't comment. So fun to meet you guys in person. And that was like awesome.
That's cool.
Yes, we love the lurkers. Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we are at that time. Ladies, thank you so much again for joining us once again. But before we go, you guys don't forget that down in the description of the video, you're going to, of course, find all of the links for Fatbirds and for Amie. And I do apologize, Pamela and Jeffrey were last minute additions. So I did not put their links in the description. I do apologize, Pamela and Jeffrey. I will have those links available for you once the live concludes. So do keep an eye out for those. But before they leave, Fatbirds, Amie, where can we see you guys next?
Well, we have our Friday night show called Flippin' and Sippin', where we celebrate the weekend. We have a drink, we sell a few items, we play games, and we just have a lot of fun. We've also started doing a podcast on Saturdays. So that is going to be a video podcast on YouTube, and it's also available to download on any of your podcasting apps. And so we've only done 2 so far, but we are in the process of reading Frankenstein from beginning to end, like to lead up to Halloween. So if you want to hear us like read 3 sentences and then laugh about it and talk about it, you know, we're reading like a chapter at a time. So
my swelling heart.
Oh, my swelling heart.
That's my favorite.
Oh my.
I love that.
It's one of those kind of podcasts, is it?
Yeah, we had a little road bump. You know, we were going to read a saucy vintage novel, you know, because it kind of goes with our theme or whatever. But I wasn't sure on the copyright, you know, idea. And so you have to use something from the public domain. You can't, even if it's really old, you can't use it until it's 100 years old. So,
but we have reached out to the publisher, so there's still a chance
we could get permission, because we did do the episodes.
So fun. Oh, I love that you're doing that. I love it. I didn't know that it had actually launched. I listen to podcasts all the time, so I'll definitely. Is it just Fatbird Finds?
It is.
Yep. So that's just kind of our shtick. I mean, we like to resell and you know, Laura's of course doing this full time now, but we also like to have some fun on the side.
And I will say I've got a whatnot sale coming up. So if you guys will bookmark that sale, just coming off of that Extravaganza weekend. It was a great weekend, Misty. By the way, you did an awesome job.
Oh, thank you. I've subscribed.
So, but anyway, I've got vintage compacts. I bought a whole collection, like 50 of them. So we're going to do a choice sale on whatnot of vintage compacts. And so just bookmark the sale right now. It's Thursday night. But if it changes, if you've got it bookmarked, then you'll know.
Love it. Love it. Well, it was a great weekend of sales.
Links are in the description. Miss Anema, Amie, what do you got coming up, lady?
You can find me on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Vintage Gents. I may be a little hairier than I do tonight. You know, it's mustache. You have to have the mustache. So that is with Jason of Mother Tucker's Antiques and David of Junk Drunk Mantiques. So I will be the guest this week. And then Monday on the Traveling Buttons channel or my channel, we haven't quite decided whose channel it's going to be on yet. We Are Vintage. We do a little live chat about vintage antiques, reselling, all that good stuff. And then a little mini live sale afterwards. So that's every Monday. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
We are having Jamie and I have talked about doing something for a long time, and she's so busy with the kids and her soccer and everything, so it's not going to be a sale. But on Friday, I think we're going to try to pop up and have like a live chat and stuff around lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So watch for that.
On Jamie's
That is-
channel or on yours?
On Jamie's channel.
All right, Mid-Century Wasted.
Get it. Ladies, thank you all again for joining us again. You guys, all of the links are down in the description. YouTube, Instagram, whatnots. Check them out. Again, it's super easy. It's super free. And it's just an easy way to show some support to some really hardworking folks. Ladies, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Miss you guys. Amy,
Miss you too.
in person.
Misty's going to kick you out now.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All right. And our last guest of the evening, they're the one, the only. It's the Colemans.
And we're on the same screen.
Yeah, we're on the same screen.
Wow. So you're finally putting the rumors to bed. I asked them if they would do it, that they really do, in fact, live together.
Yeah, really in the same house. We have little dogs cuddling around us.
Where's my skipper?
He's right here.
Where's Scoots?
You want to say hi to Misty?
He's gonna fucking.
Oh, him.
He's angry.
Oh, him's grumpy.
Him's grumpy.
Okay,
He says,
so
"I
he
don't
says no. He says no. He's
Don't
not
wanna
ready
say
to say
no.
hi right now.
No.
This is like the worst light ever, but hey, it's all good. It's so bright.
We all have our moments.
You really
It's
do
so
live
bright.
together, everyone's saying.
I know, in the same room on the same couch. Wow.
Yeah.
It's real, folks. It's real. Yes.
Yes.
Zeno, well, there was a little confusion maybe with the time because I was speaking Eastern. No, it wasn't. There was a little confusion, I think, between the Eastern and the Central. So,
And George can join us. The link is in the Instagram chat.
Yes,
it's in the group chat.
He has no pants. George, put some pants on.
Well, just keep it above the waist. Nobody will ever know.
Pants for this.
No.
This is just.
I'm not wearing pants right now. You would have never known.
I have
George
shorts
never
on.
wears pants. Dave's pantless Dave.
But, right?
Pantless Dave. He's over on the couch.
Get him.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
He still doesn't have pants. So show everyone what Misty bought you at Springfield.
All right.
I had to buy this.
Can you be nice?
Pantless Dave.
I'm Pantless Dave.
Runs around the neighborhood.
That's my leg.
Oh my god. It's not your leg, is
You
it?
can turn around and run out of the room, Pantless Dave.
He's gone. Yeah, he still needs a wardrobe update, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
And a
yeah.
haircut.
Hey, why bother though?
We're grown people that play with toys.
Yeah,
No
play
big
with
deal.
all the toys.
That's just what we do.
You got to stay young at heart.
Definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
Well, what did you
So,
think of the extravaganza? It was your
I
first
thought it was
time.
amazing. It was a lot of fun. I was exhausted, 5 hours in?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 hours in. It was hot. Well, once it got past like 1:30, that's when it just got hot enough. Yeah. Yeah, he originally had just a loincloth, so he's getting better.
A green one. Yeah.
Yeah.
green clothes, yeah.
But it was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I was completely and totally overwhelmed, just like everyone else said. Like it was a lot to take in. I didn't know where to start and where to finish. I didn't know what I'd seen and what I hadn't.
Right.
I went into barns full of things and bought things. I didn't even know what I had bought. It was, and we're pulling this buggy around and we filled the buggy
Yes,
so that
we
was
did.
exciting. We did fill the buggy. And deals were just like everyone else said, you know, high, low, kind of all over the place. But we come from an area where vintage is pretty expensive. So I felt like the prices were comparable, you know, to Colorado pricing. And I did find, like others had said as well, little pockets of deals and Christmas, little pocket of glass here, a little pocket of, you know, something else there. But there was nothing that was like, well, every time we went up to a blow mold, it was over $100.
Right.
So
and
we
sun
like,
faded, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then we would have to attach it to the car, drive all the way home with it. So
yeah.
And after the event, we went over to the heart of Ohio.
What did you? That was
intense.
We got lost in there.
Very lost.
We got
really
lost. And finally, we found Jeffrey, and I was so glad because I didn't know where we were. And he's like, you need to go down that row. Yeah. And I thought we'd already been there, and we hadn't. And that place is like an airplane hangar that goes into 4 different
5.
directions. And it was massive and exciting. And
snack bar.
Yeah, it was sensory overload 150%.
It was like a maze. So like when I was trying to do some video, that was a good place for me to do video because it was so big, you know, you were going to get something that someone else wasn't getting. And I could hear Michael or Misty or someone off in the distance laughing, but I couldn't tell where they were. I was like in a hedge maze trying to find my peeps, you know.
I would hear Misty filming, and I'm like, she's 2 aisles from me somewhere. I'm not sure where.
I wanted to Misty.
It was enormous. Lisa, we did miss some of it. I think we only got through like 1.5 wings or whatever. But again, the time at night, like everyone else said, the time at night together was, oh man, it was awesome.
Oh, go ahead. Laura triggered. Let's talk about the line.
Oh, girl, that line.
In the line.
The line. So let's talk about the line at the heart of Ohio. It went. I bet there were probably 70 people in line.
At least. It went all the way out the door.
Yeah, it was.
I felt the worst for Jeffrey and Barb. Barb ended up just leaving her stuff because they were.
No, she got her stuff. Sugar Britches.
Lorianne. That's right, Lorianne. Sugar Britches left her stuff. Yeah. It was. There were 3 cashiers.
For all those, and I mean, it was packed.
Yeah,
it was packed. It was just, it was great.
Richard says you have to just keep turning right.
Well, that's where we screwed up because we didn't do that.
We didn't read the directions.
That's how you get out of the maze, right?
How you get out.
We didn't read.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half almost. I felt horrible because that's what we did okay when we were in line. But then like Jeffrey, Barb, and Lorianne got in and they were all the way back to the exit. And it was
he was really far back. And by that point I'd gone to sit out front because my feet were done. And then he stood in line for like
I ended up talking with having fun with a couple of different people in line. They were just joking around about how long the line was and how boring it was. And we just had fun visiting. And so we passed the time, but I mean, it's still, I wanted to get out of there.
I will say though, they were very gracious. They walked around with a cart full of bottled water to give to everybody that was waiting in line. So, I mean, at least there was that. They did.
Oh yeah.
Try to take care of the customers. They, were doing the best that they could with what they had.
And they packaged everything really well too. Because I remember we had a lot of little glass pieces, and when we unpacked it here, it was, I mean, so nicely packaged.
Everything
Nothing got damaged.
Great.
Yeah. Ooh, Sandy
they used good oversized paper.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy said something. They put her stuff in someone else's bin.
Oh no! Hopefully you got that right, Sandy.
Yeah.
And that's difficult because there's employment shortages. Where do you not go anymore? And you don't see signs. We're hiring. We're hiring. We're hiring. Right. So, and I feel like there were more people. You know why? I think it's because we went later in the day. Last year we went earlier in the day, and that's why. Yeah, because there was a lot more people in there this year than there was last year.
There was.
I dropped my video this morning of the Extravaganza and Heart of Ohio, and I found myself once again kind of overwhelmed at the Extravaganza, and I didn't do as much filming as I had planned on, but I did get a good amount at Heart of Ohio, and then at that little place we went to in Cincinnati. Well, it wasn't little, it was big. Yeah, but I thought all of the places that we went, honestly, I don't think we went anywhere where we just didn't buy anything.
No,
I mean,
I think the least we got out of somewhere with was 2 bags full.
Yeah.
So.
And then you came down to Bedford and got a lot of stuff.
And that was fun.
Oh my gosh. So we should talk about
Zeno.
Oh, snap, Zeno.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just a complete blast. I felt like it was one of those trips that, we've road tripped together for years.
Yeah.
But it was just magical. It was fun. I didn't want to leave. Everybody's great. Everybody's exactly who they are on camera. And
or better.
That's better, actually. Yeah. And I really
everyone is who they are really on camera.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
That isn't always the case.
I so loved just feeling like, oh my gosh, people came up to us that were lurkers, like you guys were talking about, and we're like, we watch you guys every Sunday night, or we watch this, and I was like, really? Like, I had no idea. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was neat to see and feel humbling, very humbling. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lemmy and BK, they had a blast, Pat. They had so much fun.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And in case you don't know, one of my favorite things, actually, I got 2 mermaids, but I did, and I'm going to show her off again, but Sarah Coleman did give me a little chalkware Cupie, and it's Mumble's mermaid. It's Mumble's mermaid.
It's baby BK. It was BK's girl for a while, and then he was like, well, we'll send her on to Michael's house. She can.
BK's got a whole harem of girlfriends.
He does. He's quite the little player. You have to watch him. But,
well, Mumbles is greatly appreciated here.
Well, she's precious. Good. I'm glad. She needed to be in your collection on behalf of Bledger and Cupie and all the people at the Traveling Pets and Junk Drunk Band.
You're free from the grease jar.
Well, and it was so fun too being there, and just happened to have my birthday over, when we first got there, and it was so fun, and
everybody was
so great and wished me happy birthday and sang, and I just felt part of a family, like you were saying earlier with everybody on the panel. I mean, it just instantly felt like we were meeting up with like a family reunion or a class reunion from way back when,
Yeah, it was funny because it did feel like we'd all known each other for ages, probably because we've all watched each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Those that don't normally talk or what have you, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed getting to meet people of like mind. I so enjoyed just visiting at night and getting to know people and their backgrounds and all of that. Our innkeeper, Richard, was so great and had awesome local info on the area. We loved meeting him. And yeah, it was so sad to say goodbye. I burst into tears. I was a hot mess.
Yeah.
And you know me, I cry all the time anyway, but like happy tears. I was just like, I don't want to go. I want to go. Yeah.
Oh, and Amy's mom made the best cupcakes, and it was just, I don't know, just a sense of community and just feeling so accepted and loved.
Yeah.
And I feel that back for everyone.
Yeah. So, I mean, thank you truly to everybody that made it out to visit and meet us or just said hi while we were shopping or at the antique mall.
Yeah.
That it was special to us as well. Yes. And
Okay.
Jamie, that's
Jamie,
right.
you're gonna be here.
Jamie, you are coming next year, girlfriend. Get the plane booked.
We're gonna send my flipping van life, and she's gonna do a cross country. Just pick
Ooh.
up
Pick everybody up
in the middle of the night, snag them from their bed.
Yeah.
Jamie, I filmed a video today, and I mentioned little Mr. Blake Dorman in it, so you'll have to be looking out for that video coming up very soon. Do we want to address the comment that you had gotten?
Yes.
Michael?
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead. Zeno, you provocateur, you. So interestingly enough, we all do have our ability to in our community, well, not, I guess not everybody, but I do have the ability to utilize my community tab to post updates. You guys see various photos, or you will see the images. And there was an interesting comment made, and it was, it was you, Zeno. Is that it? I got it.
It's
Um,
Yeah.
it was they were a little upset about the idea or concept of us resellers going out and ruining the market for the true collectors who want to go out and buy things. Well, thank you, Renovative Home. I do appreciate that. Yes. That we were ruining the market by going in and buying things for resale. We were essentially, again, I'm paraphrasing, we were buying everything up so that collectors didn't have anything left to get. And then second point was that we were further exacerbating the situation by going in, making YouTube, Instagram, TikToks. So yeah. So what do you guys think? I will go first.
Okay.
My reply to the comment was that, you know what? Thank you very much. I think it's a great topic. Thanks for the idea. We can talk about it. I didn't want to get too involved into it because it's a pretty intense conversation. The weekend was so good. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Um, I'll be the first to say this is that I think that there is truth to it. I do. I think there's truth to that comment. I know that might be shocking for some folks, but I did make a video in concern to that. I think that there is truth that as resellers, especially most specifically, we as content creators, when we are going into thrift stores, especially thrift stores, that we are providing an education. We're not just providing an education to our viewers, we're also providing an education to a business, thrift stores. And the name of the game in every business is to make as much money as possible. So if we go in there, we're making videos, employees watch it, and they say, hey, these are the things that you need to look out for. Do they put them in the case as a premium? Yeah, they do. Do they send them off to a website to garner more money? Yes, they do. I'm not going to deny that. Does that maybe make me a little bit of a hypocrite? Sure, I can own that. I certainly don't have the intention. I will be truthful that I recognize those things. But I'm not out there. There was probably over 30 resellers at the Antique Extravaganza, at least 30. And I can guarantee you that the resellers, there's the vast majority of that stuff. There were deals for collectors. We couldn't, as resellers, buy it because we couldn't make a profit. So it's to each their own. There are thrift stores, there are estate sales, there are auctions, there are flea markets, garage. I think I repeat. There are a variety of different ways to source. So specifically, if you think that the thrift store is the only way to source, then I question how involved in your collection you really are. And I would agree, I think it's a bit naive to think that resellers are the sole reason why thrift stores have increased their prices.
No, and the thrift stores have always done their homework and will continue to do their homework. And most of their homework is based upon eBay prices. We know this. You know what I mean? It's not even necessarily us. I don't really think there's anybody that at Goodwill that's sitting watching all of our content and taking notes. You know what I mean?
Do.
Do you? I don't know. I mean, I think that as a reseller, it is kind of a capitalistic society that we live in, right?
It is.
And that's kind of the name of the game in what we do.
Right.
And reselling's not, sorry, I'm choked up. Reselling's not a dirty word. It's not anything to be ashamed of, but there's always going to be people with an opinion about how you should do things and, leave stuff for the collectors and what have you. But like you said, I saw tons of stuff for collectors at all of the antique malls. I saw tons of stuff. I mean, and tons of resellers I saw there as well that I know from Instagram. There was just a plethora of people there. And it is naive to think that, those are all collectors. No, we're there to pick. I mean, That's what these things are for, right?
Right.
I wanted to talk about what what Angela and Dave has said, that there are I know I look through my notes of what things have sold for in my live sales, and I am selling things at and under retail prices. Do some things go a little bit higher than retail? Yes, but for the majority of the time, I am selling my items at retail, slightly under the majority of the time. So, we sometimes better you can get a better deal from buying it from us than shopping in an antique mall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is we can pick and choose what things that we're doing wrong. But when you think about it, it's so wasteful to just throw something away, buy a new one, throw something away, buy a new one. We are rescuing items. We are finding items. Whether we're making money off that doesn't matter, in my opinion, because Goodwill and these other thrifts, they're a business. They're getting donations. They're doing good. But at the end of the day, they are making a profit.
That's what they're out to do
off
as
of donations.
I mean, they're a business. They are a legitimate business. So, I mean, I can't really be mad. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Right.
Although I have, if
you're a collector, then get up with those flashlights at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
There you go. But you know what? But this is the thing, and I think that Tina's making I think that this is the big point, though, to make. And just as Blackberry Thistle said earlier, there's enough junk in America for everybody to have. Whether you're a collector, whether you're a reseller, regardless of it. And I think Tina is making an excellent point, is that, she and Jason have been doing this for 15 plus years. And there are times we will go out and there are things that she has never seen. There are diehard collectors that are looking for things. And a lot of times that's where we do sell above retail, is when we do find something that a number of collectors have been looking for and they have not been able to find. And more often than not, we are not finding those things at a thrift store. We're finding them in an antique mall, where we are specifically not only supporting the business that houses all of those other individual small businesses. So this is, in fact, it is a microcosm. We do all support one another. And if you think about it, it very much functions just like any other supply chain business.
Yes,
you have people that are out there in the estates, in the garage sales. You maybe have vendors that are buying direct from the source. Then you have a reseller who is coming in, and then the reseller is selling to a collector. That's how the whole system works. But if one of those collapses, the whole system, as we now are experiencing, then everything gets backed up. Things don't move. And then the collectors suffer, because now all of a sudden your prices are deflated.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is most of us as pickers and resellers and curators, we are collectors at heart. I mean, if you look around our house, we are very much collectors, very much.
They are.
And the thing is sometimes we do buy something way up there because we're replacing something in our collection and we're going to sell that item.
Yep.
We don't always make our money back, but we do try to recycle the items. We're not going to just throw it away or just sell it for the highest bid.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I and again, anything that you do, there's always going to be that 1% of like, you shouldn't be doing that way, and whatever. Like, this is my job. I love my job. I enjoy it, and I'm sorry that you don't get what I do. But I don't think it's even our job necessarily to explain it to a hater or whatever who's questioning our sourcing. I'm not going to your job and asking the inner workings of what you do at your cubicle. So don't worry about it. I'm good. You're good. Let's just all be cool. I don't know.
There's just a couple of dirty hippies over here.
Those dirty hippies.
Inside joke. But no, I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in those comments because
Loretta. Yes, or it might be a snicker.
There's always a turd in the pool.
There's always one turd in the pool.
Get out of the pool.
Oh my. Well, but that's the thing. And it was one comment. Now, it was one comment directed in a community post. And I am going to say this because I do want to be honest and fair to the person, again, who made the comment. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm really, truly not. I think that, again, a lot of it, though, is that maybe in the delivery, that you should be mindful of that. And I think that you could definitely, if it feels antagonistic, is where the issue lies. But if you feel like you are having constructive criticism, where you're kind of opening yourself up to a conversation and an argument, I think that's the big thing. And here's the thing: I know but just because that one person left something, that is reflective of a very large population of people. I have seen that same similar comment made in regards to other resellers, maybe outside of the vintage YouTube. A lot of it directed at eBay sellers. I see those comments is like, well, you guys are ruining it for us small timers, or you don't need to have social media, and you're putting it all out there on blast, and now everybody's getting into it, and it's just like, okay, I get what.
Northwest Sunshine. I'm drunk. No one said mermaid bathroom.
Mermaid bathroom.
Mermaid bathroom.
And there's fall display for you too. There you go.
Yes.
Well,
and I will
Mumbles. That's Mumbles mermaid.
Look at Mumbles.
She's singing a song.
Well, and I will say to what you said, Michael. So I took to heart what you guys were talking about a couple of weeks back, maybe a month back on VRS, about we should be mindful of what we're putting out as content. So here in Colorado Springs, especially, you all know the thrift stores are abundant. We have the Arcs and the Goodwills, and they're very loaded. And it's because of where we live. And so we do pay higher price to live here, but then the thrift stores are great. However, it helps me get views on Instagram. It helps me with a lot of stuff on social media, but I am changing the way I approach doing it. I'm not going to give Goodwill or whoever's watching an idea of how much I'm paying for and how much I'm going to make off of an item. I'm not going to do their work for them, basically.
Yeah, right.
And just, if you want to know the price of something I picked, message me and I'll message you, and it'll be a private conversation. And I think those little things will help.
Okay. I'm not mad at it, David Coleman. I'm really not. And I think that's amazing, though, that you're putting that kind of thought into the content that you're putting out. I really, truly do. I commend you on that.
It frustrated me when I saw Misty's Goodwill, because I know it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
And small towns rely on these Goodwills, not just for buying vintage, but to, clothe their families. Or I grew up very low income. So I went to thrift stores to get my school clothes for the year, but I also went with my play money and bought vintage items for my bedroom, and so that's why this is, it's a passion for me. And so I hate to see people that really rely on those type of services to not get it because of the greed of corporate America. And I don't want to contribute to that at all.
I commend you for that. And I think that that's important, though, too, David, though, what you were saying. And I think that maybe I'm just going to go there. And I think that maybe it's lost on a lot of people is that at the end of the day, you can like it, you can love it, you can hate it, you can everything in between it. But at the end of the day, the videos as content creators, the videos that do the best are not just thrifting videos, but specifically Goodwill videos, because it is a nationally recognized chain. And when you talk about thrifting, I think, again, about 90% of the US population are automatically going to think of Goodwill. So when they're searching for thrifting, they're searching for Goodwill, and that drives views. There is nothing wrong with wanting to drive views on your channel. There 100% is not. And I do think that there is a difference between being a content creator and being a reseller. Not saying that you can't do both, but it's kind of like you straddle that line. And I think that we all straddle that line. And I know that when I had initially gotten into it, and one of my big questions to just about everybody when we started Vintage Rescue Squad is because I was new. And my question always was, do you consider yourself a reseller or do you consider yourself a content creator? And I think, hey, Aaron, and I think that that's an important distinction. And I think that if you're going to get in this game and you are going to utilize social media, you got to determine, you got to figure out whatever is going to be best for you. Yeah. Because making content and going into a Goodwill video, look, I'm going to say it, it is easier than actually reselling. And reselling is going out and sourcing, and it is the packing, and it is the invoicing. You're doing the nitty gritty. You're doing the not fun stuff, right? We all love going out and shopping. That's the fun part. The treasure hunt, that's the fun part. The hard part is when you come into the reselling game. It is consuming. It is messy. It is chaotic. Sarah and I was just talking about this earlier. You will make sacrifices, not just compromises, personal relationships.
All of it.
You turn all of that stuff off because you become so focused, especially when you are a small business and you're the only one doing it. You have to put that time and that energy in there. And hopefully, as you go through it, you learn to cope with it better and you begin to have time to invest in things that are going to be really important and lasting in life. So.
Yes.
Well, and I look at it as I mean, Sarah and David have experienced my Goodwill, so they know why that's not even an option. But I like the opportunity to go into these antique malls and flea markets and support other small businesses and putting that money into their pocket. Now, and I know that Goodwill they do a lot of stuff for the community. I'm not saying that's not any of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying it means a lot to me to go in and create content that's going to, one, get that antique mall on the map. And I know a lot of people say, well, Misty, you're telling people where you shop. Yeah, I am, because I want people to shop in this small business. I want this business to stay afloat. I want people to come in and shop from these real world antique booths so they can continue to do this thing. So that means a lot to me. That's what my focus is on when I'm filming content, is to make it known where these places are so people will go find them.
And that harkens back to the conversation with the vintage food chain, and the person that actually goes to the auction, buys it all in bulk, to the person that prices it, puts it in a flea market booth. Then I buy it, then I price it, and then it sells in a live sale, and then hopefully it gets a forever home. But I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes in our sales too, we have stuff that is reasonable enough for resale occasionally.
Absolutely.
Especially if it didn't get bid up or something, you can occasionally in a live sale find a deal, especially if you're a collector, and nobody else wants the same item that you want.
Yeah.
So I think there's lots of opportunities for all of us to find the vintage things that make us happy in one capacity or another. It's just, as a reseller, I don't think there's any shame at all, and no one should ever take on any shame in what we do or where we buy it or how it goes. I mean, at the end of the day, 90% of the time I am sourcing from a small business. The other 10% is thrifting at Goodwill and ARC. But I mean, between estate sales, that's going to a family, who is part of the things that they have lost or someone's moved. You know what I mean? So all of those different ways that we source are really helpful to other people. And that's what keeps the small business food chain going. Yeah. So it's super important.
And I think that, different regions, there's different things. So there are things that I can find very readily in my antique malls that you may not be able to find very readily in Colorado.
Absolutely. Well, we saw that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. In different regions, you can find different things and then you can bring those things that maybe aren't real big sellers in your area, but you've got people that are on the West Coast that are looking for these things. So it's kind of it's kind of a beautiful thing, honestly.
Well, and when you find that, whatever it is, let's say we were at Springfield Extravaganza or we're at the antique mall, and you find something that's clearly sat in a barn for 50 years, and then you get to rehome it and find the right person for it. There's a certain joy in that I think you know, as a reseller, that is part of the fulfillment of what we get to do. You know what I mean? Is finding that item. It's forever home. I love that. I love knowing that someone's getting something from us that we love, we bought, we had the eye for it, and then their grandma had it, so they got it. You know, it's the best feeling ever. So, you know, again, people will try to take joy from your reselling journey one way or the other with, you know, the comments. And it really boils down to a lack of understanding and education on what we really do. If
some of the comments are flat out lies.
Well, Sage, I think this is sage advice is this, and I think that this point has been lost, and not just in regards to the vintage community, but the world at large. Turn on the news. I think that there's a very important distinction in between I don't agree with something. If you don't agree with something, then don't do it. But just because you don't agree with something doesn't make the other person wrong and you right. It's that simple. If there's something you don't agree with, don't do it. But it doesn't have to be made out to be a right and a wrong situation. Might not be right for you. That's cool. You can do whatever you want, but don't try to make somebody else out to be wrong. It's so sad and unfortunate. Again, you know, we are here for community. We are here for fun. We are here for vintage and antiques, might I add. We're here for community. We are, as Arianna was saying, as many of the resellers, you know, we have each other because a lot of us don't have people in our real day-to-day life that share the same passion and enjoyment. And that has brought us all, whether we're on the screen or whether you are in the chat, it doesn't matter because we are all together in this vintage family, right? And instead of focusing on all of these nitpicking little, well, this, and I don't like this and that, and every other, we're trying to build a community of positivity, of laughter, of joy. This weekend, you guys, I wish that we would be able to share that en masse. The meetup was a great extension of what we felt at the inn. I mean, it really was an amazing experience. I hope that is the first of many. Misty Pate has certainly got her creative juices flowing there. Watch out, everyone. So it's just, again, it's positivity. I want to leave it on a positive note. I don't want to leave tonight's episode in any kind of negativity, especially when this weekend has meant so very much. It has brought me closer to the people that I call a friend. I don't use that word lightly. So again, positivity. You guys, thank you in the chat for allowing me this opportunity to get to know Misty Pate better, to get to know Sarah and David Coleman better, to get to finally meet Pam Abama, Arianna,
what a joy.
Barb and Jeffrey, even Jeffrey,
And
Jeffrey,
and
Cyndi and Val,
and Val.
Sandy and Val, Jeffrey and Barb, literally everybody, Cyndi, Pamela, everybody that was there, we thoroughly enjoyed. And I don't always say that from every social gathering. And I think that's what was so magical about it is, you know, most of us may not always say that about every social gathering, but I loved everybody. It was just super chill and so fun. So thank you guys all that were there, resellers and people that came to see us on Saturday. Thank you guys for making this so joyful, truly joyful. Thank you.
Oh, Lisa, that's sweet.
I'm not gonna cry, damn it.
I'll always remember your picture, Lisa. I'll always
yes, Lisa, I will. I will remember that. I will remember
Lisa,
that. I loved it. I loved it.
It was very artistic.
It was very artsy.
Yeah. It was a take. I legitimately was like, for real, like when I saw the photo, Lisa, I was like, oh, that's her sense of humor. Like I thought it was, do you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, she being cute, cool. Like it was totally fun. I legit thought she was.
I peed my pants, Lisa.
Lisa, we all did. That photo.
Oh, Aaron, please
terrible.
do. Aaron, please do. Please
Oh.
do. Please. That would be wonderful.
That would be so great.
It
Absolutely.
would be. It would be.
Somebody said in the chat they were coming to Colorado. Look us up.
Look us up.
Lisa took a picture of her and Michael, and all you could see was Michael from the neck down.
It was Michael's torso and Lisa.
And Lisa was right here on me.
It's my favorite.
It was so damn funny.
It was
and literally,
good.
poor Michael was just cut off right here.
No.
It was the best.
And I'm okay with because that other picture, I mean, he was hot. I think that was like antique number 3 or 2. And I was like,
yeah, exhausted.
We were so fried by that point. I know. I was like, I can't look at it anymore. It did get to that point too. We were all just kind of, we had this glazed over look on our eyes. Yeah. I've seen so many swum places and blow molds and tinsel trees. I don't even know.
Let's go.
I'm going to San Diego at the end of July or January. So I don't know what my plans are as far as that goes, but I know that I'm in January, San Diego.
Well, I love California, so you never know. Might have to make a little West Coast trip out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, guys.
West Coast, I would love to see too. So.
Well, we are obviously over our 10 o'clock hour. I think that it was well worth it. We had an amazing chat tonight. Some crazy laughs. My stomach is killing me. Thank you, Pama Bama, for that.
Yes. We were dying.
Right, Sarah, David, you guys, thank you so much for waiting around and being here with us again. You guys, please remember everybody's, well, except for Pamela and Jeffries, I gotta get them up there. Links are down below in the description of the video. Again, I cannot impress upon you enough that you are supporting some really good people, really solid human beings. Please make sure to show them all of the love, all of the support that you can. It doesn't have to be that you show up at every live sale. It doesn't have to be that you purchase something from everybody. Be a subscriber, be a viewer, leave a thumbs up, drop a comment, engage with that content. That is supporting them. That is encouraging them. I can't say that enough. You guys, to every single one of you that is in the chat, and if you're out there watching the replay, thank you so much for the privilege of being able to do this. Please know that it is with the utmost respect that we have for you all, and I want to let you know that here on this channel and all of the people that we surround ourselves with, you will only find positivity, fun, laughter, good vintage, great antiques.
And collaboration and community. We love
and collaboration and community. Get it?
It's everything.
Amen. Amen. All right. And Lemmy.
Yeah.
And Lemmy.
He had to come and say hi.
Had to come and say hi. So before we go, Sarah, David, when can we catch you guys next?
Well, let's see.
Wednesday.
It'll be Wednesday for the Coleman Collective at 4 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on the traveling button. And so we're going to be bringing an eclectic mess of some spooky stuff, and pretty much everything that we're bringing is from Ohio or Indiana.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of different kitschy fun stuff. So that'll be Wednesday. And then Thursday night, we have Arianna on as a guest on my channel for the Vintage Quartet. And that's David and I and Mother Tucker's Antiques.
Yep.
So it's a darn good time. To those of you that have subscribed recently, thank you. I'm about to hit 2,500 subscribers. So I'm super excited. Thank you guys for this.
Get her to 3,000.
3,000 onto
That's
it. Yes.
And out of every Vintage Rescue Squad that it has been published here on the Cult.Of.Vintage, this is the Vintage Rescue Squad that I would love to see the most thumbs up on. So if you have not, thank you so much, Evan, for reminding me. Please make sure that you do like this episode of Vintage Rescue Squad.
Yeah.
I would greatly appreciate it.
I keep
Thank
thinking,
you very
Michael,
much.
I keep thinking that behind you there was like a lady turned. Okay, no, put your head where it was.
I saw
looked
it
like
too.
a lady in a bikini.
Yep. It
Yeah.
looked like a thong all
It's
night
catching
behind
my eye.
Michael's head. Yep.
Where?
Long bikini.
The black mouth,
It's
the
just
edge of
coming
the
right
black
out of
mouth
your
looks
ear.
like thong.
Oh, right here. Well, wait. Right here are her thighs.
I was like, does he got a naked girl behind him?
Oh, that's her butt, and that's her arm, like on her butt.
Yeah. I'm like, you
Pervert.
got a naked pumpkin lady back there, Michael. What's going on?
Everyone's like, I see it too.
Hey,
so glad that
speaking, listen, speaking of this jack-o'-lantern, guess what? You will be able to catch Misty and I tomorrow on our next sale, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Everything you see behind you here will be available for sale.
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, bittersweet. That's right. The only bittersweet to be had at the Extravaganza. We'll be right here for you, okay? So don't forget, you guys, that's tomorrow on Difter Junker Vintage Hunter
Live.
Okay. So do keep your eye out for that. You guys, thank you again so much for being with us. We really do appreciate it. We hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Stay vintage, I guess, right, guys? Y'all have a good one.
Heck yeah. Bye,
Vintage
guys.
fam. Good night, guys.